So Top Gun Maverick rose to second at the box office a few weeks ago, and it had already been out for nearly 3 months. What? Hello YouTube, Joe Kiger here talking about Top Gun Maverick, which I should have done a long time ago, I know, and I apologize. But I keep seeing headlines about this movie breaking box office records, and I felt like it was finally time for me to share my thoughts on Top Gun Maverick. Top Gun Maverick is now approaching $1.5 billion at the box office globally, and has become the biggest sequel of all time, apparently. I'd like to start this video by saying, how? Who saw this coming? I know that Top Gun is a popular movie from the 80s and there's nostalgia surrounding it, but I didn't think there was that much hype. Like, I don't hear people talking about Top Gun when they discuss their favorite movies or classic movies. It's just a movie that exists and people know that it was from the 80s. And it doesn't even have that great of ratings. If you go to IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes, it doesn't have great ratings. And beyond that, the hype for Top Gun Maverick, I felt, was non-existent. So you have the OG, which I don't think had that much hype surrounding it. And now you have Top Gun Maverick being advertised before it comes out. And I didn't hear that many people talking about it either. I didn't see trailers blowing up. I didn't see headlines or comments or anything. So how in the world did this movie get to its success? Tom Cruise is obviously a very popular actor, and a lot of people have seen a multitude of his films, myself included, but the numbers he's achieved with Top Gun Maverick are insane. This is the first Tom Cruise movie that's ever made $1 billion. But not only that, the second highest grossing film he's ever done, which is Mission Impossible Fallout, made $600 million less than Top Gun Maverick. He's not just setting records. He's setting records by a gigantic margin. And I just wanted to address those numbers and the insanity of the money he's making before I said, I don't think there's a more deserving film. When this movie came out back in May, I had little to no interest in it. I had not and still have not seen the original Top Gun, and I didn't expect much from this random sequel until I saw the ratings coming in, and they were absurdly high. At one point, I think it had like an 8.8 on IMDb. It's gone down a little bit, but it was still super high. And so I was like, all right, maybe I actually need to check this out. So I went to the theater, and leaving the theater, I was absolutely astounded. From beginning to end, Top Gun Maverick was an emotional, outstanding thrill ride, and I could not have been more pleased with it. You have to give Tom Cruise credit for devoting himself to providing an immersive experience every time you go see one of his movies. And this was one of his most immersive yet. It was so realistic, and the immersive experience suited this film in particular so well because of all the aerial sequences, using real jets and cameras to capture it. The cameras captured this so gorgeously. I was really impressed with the cinematography, and the sound department did a fantastic job of encapsulating all the different sounds and making you feel tense and providing a thrill for you as you were watching these aerial sequences. But beyond the technical elements being superb, I was really impressed with how well this movie told a compelling story with characters that had me engaged the entire time. I loved that we focused on Maverick, and we got to see how he was the reluctant teacher who was hesitant to do what needs to be done, but was the only one qualified. And related to that, I liked that we got to see his students be reluctant to listen to him and to follow his training. I like that both parties were kind of hesitant and kind of reluctant to do what they needed to do. And they established a camaraderie slowly so that by the end, you cared about each one of the crew members so much in a movie where they could have easily been very disposable. All of the characters in the movie were super charismatic, and it made for really interesting, engaging relationships, like Maverick and Rooster, which was one of my favorites. I loved how they were butting heads at the beginning because Maverick was trying to protect Rooster by not letting him go through the academy. And it was because of the trauma he experienced in the first movie of seeing Rooster's dad die. I thought that was a really nice tie-in and a really good way to honor the source material, which they did in a lot of different aspects. But then Rooster feeling like Maverick was just holding him back. And I love that they learned to both mutually let go of the worries they had and then grow with each other. Maverick had to let go of his worries for Rooster and just let him do his own thing. And I thought that was really cool, letting him learn to mature. And then Rooster had to let go of his own worries. The whole don't think, just do idea was really cool. And he had to learn to let go of his own worries of getting the mission exactly right or living up to his dad's reputation and just doing what needs to be done. It was also really cool how they implemented the letting go theme with Maverick and Penny. And I loved their relationship too. I felt like they had a lot of chemistry and it just worked out really well. I like that Penny had a daughter that she was learning to give more freedom to, similar to Maverick trying to give more freedom to Rooster. It was a really cool way of depicting that theme in another character. And we also got to see that theme of letting go play out through Iceman and the conversation he has with Maverick. This was easily my favorite scene in the whole movie. It was just such a heavy, sad, emotional, but also insightful exchange that was so central to the whole theme of the movie and to Maverick's character. The fact that Val Kilmer has throat cancer in real life and how they incorporated that into Iceman in the movie with him communicating using a keyboard, I thought was a really beautiful tribute to him and the struggles he's going through in real life, but also in the character of Iceman. When Iceman tells Maverick, it's time to let go, and Maverick responds, I don't know how, I was nearly brought to tears. And I love when I feel something like that in the theater. I just thought the scene was so well written and so emotional. And I loved the acting we got from Tom Cruise. I genuinely think it's some of the best acting we've gotten from him in a long time. But yeah, that whole scene just resonated with me really deeply. And I wanted to talk about how much I love it because it was just perfect. I just really loved that scene and I wanted to share that. As you guys know, characters are the biggest reason why I either like or don't like a film, and I think they established the characters so well. It was so nice to see them succeed in the end. I felt good, it was a feel-good movie, and it was really nice to just go to a theater and watch a feel-good movie like that was uplifting. There was some really sweet moments with Maverick and Rooster towards the end, and even Hangman. The fact that everyone just comes out on top and it's a success story was really nice. And I think that the fact that it's a feel-good movie probably helped contribute to its success because it genuinely, to me, appeals to any audience. I've seen this with my brothers, which are my age, and I've heard that my aunt really loves it, and my mom, who's more middle-aged, and then my granddad even loved it. So it's like, it's appealing to all different kinds of demographics because it's just a good, triumphant story. Anyway, I love Top Gun Maverick. I've seen it twice, and I urge anyone who hasn't seen it to go see it as soon as you can, especially if it's still playing in your local theater. It is somehow still playing in one of my local theaters, even though this movie's been out for like 4 months. That just shows you how crazy the success has been surrounding it. But if you can, again, go watch it in the theater. This is the best movie, in my opinion, since Ford v Ferrari, and that came out almost 3 years ago. So hopefully that tells you something about how great it is. That's going to do it for my review of the success and the greatness of Top Gun Maverick. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let me know what you think of Top Gun Maverick if you've seen it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with my opinions. Comment down below what you want to see me do next for this channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.